Hey guys, Spudknocker here, as always, and today we're going to go over a quick little tutorial and PSA for night flying here in the F-16C Block 50 Viper. And I know lately, these past few months, we've been a bit short on tutorial or informational type videos on the Spudknocker channel, and that's been more or less due to the fact there hasn't been that much in the way of new content, new add-ons for aircraft, or new features for aircraft in DCS World, so there really hasn't been that much need to make tutorials for you guys, and I don't want to just pull stuff out of my butt and say, hey guys, here's a new tutorial when there's already, 5 or 6 different videos out there that you guys can already reference. However, this was something that kind of came to my attention, and it's been something that I've been looking for a solution for quite a while now. And that is, of course, the very, very annoying and far too bright AoA Indexer here on the left-hand side, just to the left of the HUD, in the F-16C Fighting Falcon. And I'm sure you guys have all tried to play with all different brightness knobs and things like that. Like, we can move it, we can make it brighter, but that's as dim as it gets. I've tried everything from all of the different light switches and different brightness knobs in here. I've scoured the DCS World forums on the Eagle Dynamics site. I've scoured the internet. I've looked at real F-16C Fighting Falcon manuals from Block 30 all the way up to Block 52, and nothing has been able to fix this, and I assume it's just simply an issue with the DCS F-16C Fighting Falcon as it is right now. However, it really does, with night vision goggles, make the F-16 incredibly difficult to use and just very annoying and unpleasant to use. I have searched, like I said, high and low to find something, and I have finally hit something that in fact does take care of this problem, and I wanted to bring you guys through a little tutorial on how to make this stop. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually go ahead and kill DCS World. We are going to have to go in and do a little bit of Lua file editing within the program files of the DCS F-16C, but it really isn't too bad, and if you follow this tutorial step by step, we can get rid of this very, very annoying AoA Indexer. So we'll just go ahead and hit escape here, and we'll quit to desktop. Okay guys, now that we're on the desktop, we can of course see that my screensaver for the moment is a couple of Malaysian Air Force FA-18C Hornets. Of course, in real life, the Malaysian Air Force uses the FA-18 Delta only. However, I do find them to be some of the most interesting operators of the FA-18 around, so I kind of like the skin. Anyway, so back on topic. What you're going to want to do to start off here is open up your File Explorer, and for the vast majority of you guys out here watching this video, your DCS World install directory is going to be on your C drive, unless you put it onto a different hard drive or install it in a different way. So for me personally, I've installed it in a bit of a different way. I've got my own solid state drive just for DCS and just for video stuff within DCS World. So for you guys, you're going to open up that C drive, go to your program files, go to Eagle Dynamics, find DCS World Open Beta or DCS World for your simple vanilla non-open beta version. And for me, I'm just going to open up my DCS SSD. I'm going to go straight to Eagle Dynamics. I'm going to go DCS World Open Beta. And from here, everything will be exactly the same, whether you have your vanilla DCS, your release version, your open beta version, whether you're on Steam or whether you're on standalone. The way to actually get to your DCS World directory can be a little bit different depending on how you've installed DCS World. Like I said, whether you're on Steam, whether you're on standalone, whether you're on open beta, or you're on DCS World release version, doesn't matter. As soon as we're here, this is the exact same path you're going to follow. Next, we're going to scroll on down. We're going to go to our mods folder. We're going to go to aircraft. We're going to find our F-16C folder. We're going to find our cockpit folder within that. We're going to follow and open up scripts, and we're going to go to main panel. And this right here, lamps.lua, is going to be the file that we're actually going to edit in order to make that AoA Indexer a heck of a lot less bright, and in fact make the F-16C usable at night with night vision goggles. So I highly, highly recommend that you right-click this guy, copy, and paste, so that way we have a backup down there. So that way when you're done flying at night in the F-16 and you want your AoA Indexer back to its original state, you can simply just plop this guy back in, overwrite your lamps.lua file that you've edited, and presto, you're back in action with your AoA Indexer. Now, next thing we want to do is we want to open this guy up. I like to use Notepad++ for editing Lua files, especially here within DCS World. It seems to play nicely for us. And we want to hit Control F, and then we can enter in AoA, AoA, find next, and then boom, this is the 3 lines of code within this Lua file that we want to actually edit. And so it's underneath this green header called AoA Indexer. And we can see caution lights, AoA red, green, yellow. And so essentially what we want to do is just completely nuke these. And we're going to just highlight them all and backspace, boom, file save, and our AoA indexer is completely nuked and it will no longer display any light, which is fantastic for us flying at night here in DCS World, trying to utilize our F-16 that we all love to fly at night, but we've been having this issue, of course. So why don't we hop back into the F-16 now that we have that lamps.lua file edited, and we'll hop back in, flip on our night vision goggles, and of course take a look and see what the result is. So that way you guys can see that yes, in fact, this actually works. Alrighty guys, here we are back in the office of our F-16C Fighting Falcon. Of course, taking a look at the things on our wings. And so let's take a look and see if that AoA indexer is still annoyingly bright and unusable with night vision goggles. So just a quick drum roll here for you guys, and we'll just gently pan our head around over to the HUD of the F-16. And dun-da-da-da, no more AoA indexer blooming out our night vision goggles and being a massive hindrance to our combat effectiveness and our ability to fly the F-16C at night with night vision goggles. Heck, I would even go further to say that the F-16 without this little mod is impossible to fly at night without night vision goggles because that AoA indexer is just too bright. And I know that there's going to be people out there that say, well, Spud, it's not realistic to fly an F-16 without a functioning AoA indexer. And my counter to that would be, of course, if I am the pilot of an F-16 and my AoA indexer, for whatever reason, is too bright and I cannot get that brightness down, you know what, I'm going to pull a roll of electrical tape out of my pocket and put some electrical tape over that freaking AoA indexer right there. It's not going to inhibit your ability to land the aircraft at the correct AoA because we have the E bracket that pops up on our HUD. And if you really, really want it, we of course have the AoA tape down here on the center pedestal with our regular good old-fashioned instruments. So this is a fantastic and super, super easy little mod for you guys to do to make your enjoyment of the F-16 in DCS World go up by quite a bit. I love flying at night in DCS World, and this just adds to it. And so I hope you guys get something out of this, and this will just be our little mod to throw some electrical tape over that very pesky AoA indexer that the crew chief has not been able to figure out how to bring the brightness down on that guy. Maybe there's a short in the electrical system. Who knows? These F-16s are pretty darn old now, with the Block 50s being manufactured between the mid and late 1980s. So, you know, there's always kinds of gremlins and things that hang out in these jets, and just a pretty quick fix there, huh, guys? So I hope you guys, like I said, enjoyed the video, and I hope this gets some more enjoyment out of your purchase of the F-16. And if you liked the video, please give a like and, of course, subscribe. And fly safe, fellas, and hopefully more content is coming down the pipeline for DCS World so we can get back to more informational and tutorial-type videos in the near future. So thanks a lot, guys, and, of course, fly safe. I'm going to continue at Cortana right now, for now at least, with a nose-on aspect, until I get to maybe about 45 nautical miles away, and then I will start my cranks.
Springfield, Glenborn, Overlord, Glenborn, Bra, 306, 450.
And we can see something else here that's also very, very important that we have to keep an eye on, is we can see both in the F-18C and the F-16C, when we have targets locked up in a TWIS mode, we can see the aspect of those targets out in front of us. So we can see that Cortana is flying from our left to our right. She's cranking off to the left. She's keeping us in a soft lock at her gimbal limits in order to make sure that my missile has to work as hard as it can to get to her to fly an intercept vector. Now, eventually, she's going to want to take her nose and bring her nose to the right and fly a crank around this way, following where my cursor is going across my radar screen here. And so what that's going to do, of course, if you watched my previous BVR video, is that's going to make my missile have to work very hard and pull some G's to come back around and fly a new intercept vector on her. Now, that's also very important to note is we need to know when our target is beaming us, flying away from us and keeping ourselves at their own radar gimbal limits, and when they're nose on us. Because when they're nose on us, we have to absolutely assume that they are firing a missile at us. This is especially true when we're flying against an opponent with semi-active radar-guided missiles like Cortana's AIM-120 Charlies that she's got